turn on, it's getting about time to go.
For some reason, they
Got it going, huh?
whatever.
Next time Shane better than the clock.
Well,
Yeah.
call my
It's good news as well. I think it's good, Cindy Johnson years ago, if you ever have cancer, we'll say, treat it, and if you survive
This is the final thing. I would have the hearings, everything's been in the schedule, everything, if you have to.
That's what it is. That time Shane better than the
I
clock.
didn't know
Yeah.
how to do
Mondays.
that.
Oh, good.
So that's good.
So, the last one was today. No one showed up, especially in the newspaper, the guys in the paper. The formality has been done. And I'm not sure what I need to do.
That's the easiest one to, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the hour has arrived. We will call this meeting to order, and I'm going to ask Mr. Griffin, if he will, to give us the invocation.
Let's pray. Our God and Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us. Thank you for the sunshine and the rain. We now ask that you take and look down on us as we take care of our city business. Help us to make wise decisions. Help us to be prudent in what we do. Know that we take and give everything good to your name. And we thank you in the name of Jesus Christ. All these things we ask in your Son's precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Mr. Johnson, I wish you would notice the location of the flag.
Yes, sir.
Now, I cannot take credit for that. Ms. Lopez said that had to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Gentlemen, you've got an agenda before you. I want to apologize, and I'm going to apologize for Ms. Lopez as well. There's a few things that we sort of clustered, not anything major that we're going to include in mayor and council comments we've got down there. But do y'all have any major things or something that you want to add or to the agenda, amended in any way? There's a few things we're going to insert, but there, I think you will agree with us when we get there that they're just sort of minor. Hearing no additions or corrections to the agenda, I entertain a motion that we approve it. Mr. Johnson has made a motion that we approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Griffin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is set. All right. She's got the minutes up there. It's the first item. They were with us Monday night. Been no changes, have there?
No, sir.
Y'all have looked at the minutes that are before you. We've remember the comments that we made that we think Ms. Lopez is trying to dot every I and cross every T, and maybe she might can skip one every now and then, and we've discussed that. I entertain a motion relative to the minutes.
Also motion that we accept.
Mr. Johnson moved that we accept the minutes of April 14th work session, April 20th council, May the 12th work session, and May the 18th council. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Purser. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's carried. All right, this is the second chance we've given to Mr. James Earl Craig to come talk about his lighting and parking at Impact Church. We will continue to hope that Mr. Craig does well with his endeavor. He's a mighty smart young man, and he's working hard, and we, of course, wish him luck.
If I may, Mayor, I did receive a telephone call today
Okay.
from Miss Millie Alls, and she said, did I forget the meeting? I said, yes, ma'am, it was Monday night. They have requested to be on the work session for September with the city clerk making a telephone call to remind Miss Millie that they are to be here for the September work session. They would feel more comfortable coming to, before the council for work session instead of regular council meeting. So I have obliged them and told them I will do what I need to do.
I know you will handle them well, thank you. All right, we've, y'all finally, and I apologize, I feel like I'm partly responsible for the delay in getting all of these things finally put together. But I think we have jumped through all the loops and done all the things we're supposed to do to notify the public, have public hearings and meetings, and with our budget, we've struggled through it. I think we're ready to make the final blow of officially, after all things are done, to vote relative to the 1 mil ad valorem tax increase. I entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adopt the 1 mil increase as discussed with council and everything in the previous.
Mr. Griffin has made a motion that the 1 mil increase that we've hashed to death be approved officially. Is there a second? Mr. Johnson has seconded the motion. Is there any further discussion about this item?
Did anybody show up at the
No, sir.
public? I didn't figure
No,
that.
sir.
That's all I wanted to know.
Not anybody. In all, we had 3 of them.
I know.
And not a one shows up anyway. All right, the motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call the vote. All in favor of this, raise your left hand. All right, that's all votes are favorable. There's no dissenting votes. So, Ms. Clerk, would you record that the council has unanimously approved the increase in millage rate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kearney, you were going to get something ready for us on rescinding some of our mistakes.
I have a rule, well, it really wasn't a mistake. It'll be a mistake if we don't do this. This is a resolution, I'm gonna read this very brief. This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hazelhurst, Georgia, to rescind the August 25th, 2016 vote to install a 4-way stop at the intersection of Jefferson Street and Bell Street. Whereas on August 25th, 2016, the City Council of the City of Hazelhurst, Georgia voted in regular session to install a 4-way stop at the intersection of Jefferson Street and Bell Street. Whereas said vote was in response to requests by the Police Department and Jeff Davis County School System for assistance in slowing and controlling traffic flow in the vicinity of the Jeff Davis County schools. Whereas upon further review and study, the City Council determined that it was in the best interest of the City and School System to place the 4-way stop at the intersection of Jefferson Street and Pine Forest Avenue, as said the intersection experienced the highest volume of traffic. Whereas on June 15, 2017, the City Council voted to install a 4-way stop at the intersection of Jefferson Street and Pine Forest Avenue, which was installed thereafter. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Hazelhurst, Georgia, that the August 25, 2016 vote to install a 4-way stop at the intersection of Jefferson Street and Bell Street is hereby rescinded, and no further action upon said vote is necessary or required to be taken by the City of Hazelhurst. Approved and adopted this 17th day of August 2017 by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Hazelhurst.
Okay, gentlemen, you've heard the resolution, which in essence, and you all understand it, I don't understand anything else, but it's, we're using an eraser a little bit, and sometimes you have to do that. I entertain a motion that we adopt the resolution.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Mr. Griffin's made the motion that we adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion?
I just want to make a comment that when we originally asked for Bell Street, that while the traffic is higher at Charles Rogers and, is that right? Charles Rogers and Jefferson?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jefferson and Pine Forest.
We've had a number of accidents at Bell Street, and I'm gonna vote for it, changing it because we've done it, but I think we still need to be concerned about the safety of Bell Street.
I understand that, and I appreciate your concern, but also remember now that with the caution lights and having to stop just 300 feet away, it's also going to slow down traffic and probably alleviate some of those as well. And there's much more traffic need for it where we put it. Okay, any further discussion? Got a motion, a second, we adopt the resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. Mr. Attorney, if you'll prepare it, let's do it a little later. And we'll give it to Ms. Lopez here. All right, where are we now? MediaCom. Anybody got anything, Eric? Didn't you do deals?
I have not taken and got a hold of Mr. Lofton yet and everything that's with the Georgia Cable Association. I have not got a hold of him. I have placed to talk to him, and I do not have anything back from him yet. So I don't have anything to report to you.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I have had visits and calls and listened to my wife complaining about MediaCom, and as I said in the work session, I'd like to send I know it won't do any good, but we at least need to stand up for our citizens and write a letter to MediaCom and explain to them that our constituents, our citizens are unhappy with what's happened to MediaCom in the last 5 weeks or whatever. And I'll make that in form of motion, that we send a letter and explain to them that we're concerned about it.
Got a motion on the floor, gentlemen, that we send a letter to MediaCom to inform them of the problems we're having with their service, and Hazelhurst is our second.
I'll second it.
Mr. Griffin has seconded the motion. Is there any further discussion? Yes, there is. I have some. I told the council Monday night that I thought it was an item, that we didn't have to wait for tonight, that I should get myself busy and get a letter to the appropriate people for trying to ask them to correct this item. Gentlemen, I want you to know that I have pursued it diligently. I started first calling. I called my friend Rodney Sharp, who's the local person we all know well with MediaCom. He gave me a phone number. I called there. They gave me a phone number. I called there. Find out I couldn't get anything. If you give me your telephone number and your account number, I might can help you. And I went through that, and I'm not exaggerating. I'll make this brief. I've had enough of it myself. I'm sort of like Tommy was by something else. I said about all I want to say. You won't believe that finally today, and I worked on it Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. Finally today, I said, listen, I normally don't do this. I said, I am the mayor of Hazelhurst, and the citizenry here have asked me to communicate with your management about a problem. I said, if you call Hazelhurst and talk to our people and ask them to talk to the mayor, you can get to me. Can I get to somebody in management with MediaCom? Well, lo and behold, after a while, hold on a minute, sir. Ring. Person answered the phone. I said, I'd calm down a little. I said, look, I'm Bainstone in Hazelhurst, and we've got a little problem with our reception and the service here. What is your name? And they gave me the name. And I said, what is your position with MediaCom? I'm the supervisor over so-and-so. And I described the problem. And we had about a 10-minute conversation sometime this afternoon. I forget exactly what time it was. We had about a 10-minute conversation, and we left laughing with each other. And by the way, this person was in Maryland. Before I left, I said, look, I feel sure that you're going to devote some attention, since you're in management with MediaCom, that you're going to help us. But I said, do you mind giving me your supervisor's name as well, so that I can copy them with the letter I'm going to send you? She said, I don't mind at all. And they gave me the name, Payne Roberts. I said, how do you spell it? P-A-Y-N-E, and Roberts, R-O-B. I said, we laughed again. We had a good conversation. I said, would you believe my name is Robert Bain, B-A-Y? Like, oh, what a coincidence. We sort of laughed and jiggled about that. Guess where the supervisor was? That I'm going to copy the letter to, me talking to Maryland, Valdosta, Georgia. But at any rate, I have not neglected to try to do what I told you to do, and Tommy, we're working on it. Okay, let's move along.
We've got a motion on the floor. Second.
What is it? Oh, yeah. Did we write a letter? Okay, got a motion and a second. We write a letter. Is there a second? We already got it. Any further discussion? All for the vote, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll write the supervisor in Delaware and copy the boss in Valdosta and see what we can get done. Okay. All right, Mr. Griffin, you're next.
All right, on the roundabouts that Tommy has taken and talked about, and talked to Hofstadter and everything, what this entails is no out-of-pocket money from the city, and for them to take and see if DOT will design it at no cost to us. If it doesn't, then it doesn't cost us a dime, period. Now, if we get it designed, or we don't get it designed, or whatever else, it's no skin off our back. But what I'd like to take in this time to do is make a motion that we approve Hofstadter and Associates to go ahead and start trying to get the the information and the plans drawn up at no cost to us, and then get back with us and see if there is any grant money. And if that's not the case, if we have it designed, then we can at that point take and approach some of the government entities in the county, take to see if they can help. So I said I'd like to make that a form of motion.
Got a motion made that we engage and accept Hofstadter and Associates agreement to, I thought it was designed, get the grant and build it.
At this point right now, it's just to get the design, get it designed for free at this point and everything else. And then we take and go from there with the funding and get it built and everything. Because like I said, with grant money, if there's grant money out there, they can get it. If there's not grant money, then at that point.
Well, we're not, let's move along. I'm making a bad mistake here. You've made a motion. Is there a second to Mr. Griffin's motion?
I've already seconded.
Oh, you have already? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Okay, any further discussion? I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that, that this was almost a turnkey situation. So this is not a turnkey design, build, and finish.
Not at this point. I mean, like I said, we can't take in, we need to get the designs together before we can take and have something to take and approve a grant or something. They got to have all the aspects and everything else. Of course, you know that good as anybody else. You got to have all everything you need to even apply for, so you know what you're applying for. You can't arbitrarily apply for a grant.
Okay, I was under a little bit of misconception about it, and I apologize for that. That's not unusual for me. I have pursued this very diligently. I've talked to our district office in Jessup about it. I've talked to the commissioner in Atlanta. I've talked to his first lieutenant, who's the one that actually advises him on projects such as this. I've got with Dr. Stan Rentz, our school superintendent, and got with his people about grants and so forth. And here is what I have found. I told you this at work session, the two roundabouts, and it just, of course, they are beautiful. Tommy showed us pictures of nice ones, and I sure would like to see it. I think it would be a great asset to our community. These two roundabouts will cost approximately $500,000 apiece. I didn't realize these things were that expensive. But, and then I've gone with like I say, with the commissioner in Atlanta and with the engineer in Jessup and others that I know as well. And there's absolutely no funds with DOT. This project is expired and there's no funds there. According to what Dr. Stan Rentz and I can find out, it's almost 1 in a million to get anything through the education department. There is a way to get this done, and Carl Hofstadter is a very wealthy man, good engineer in his firm, and he's got a lot of influence. And there's a way to get this done, but I'm a little hesitant. We are a city of ethics, and with it being $1 million project at 4 ways would work, I don't think that the expenditure of this nature should be funded the way that perhaps it may be funded. So anyway, I've got sometimes some of you have reservations, said, look, count me out, I'm not going to be involved in this. Well, knowing what I know about it, and I've worked on it hard, I'm going to have to vote against it. But that's my input, and we're ready for a vote. All in favor?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
No one has asked for us to spend a penny. I have never asked that. I've never said anything about it. Where you get this idea that we're gonna go out and spend $1 million, I don't know. We've never said that. All I've
I didn't
asked is
say that
that we
either.
look for possible funding. That's all I've said from the time I brought it up, and that's all I've said.
And that's where we're at now.
And that's where we're at.
And I've been working on it hard, and
I said, that's not the point. The point is, we just want somebody to explore it.
I've been
That knows
exploring
what
it
they're
hard.
doing.
We appreciate the time you put in there, but that's not what we're saying. We're not trying to take anything away from you or take a feather out of your hat. Any kind of
I don't care about that.
All right, well, like I said, that's not the point.
Okay. We want to, all of us, at all times, want to do everything we can to benefit our city. And like I said, Looking at those pictures that Tommy brought to us, it sure would be nice to have those nice centers of traffic control, even though some people in our midst don't think it's a good idea. I think it would be sort of an asset and we could get used to them. At any rate, we got a motion.
Again, I want to say, I'm not interested in so much as it looking good, as I'm interested in the safety of our school children, the safety of our parents, our bus drivers, the safety of the traveling public. That is my total interest in it, is safety.
I
That's
understand.
my total interest.
Yeah. I understand, and I'm with you there. And, but remember again that four-way stops will accomplish the same thing without spending that much money. Okay,
Again, Mayor, you keep on bringing this up. We're not talking about spending any money. No one has said anything about spending any money.
That was my thing. You say Carl is gonna do this without, explore it without
That's
any
right.
cost to the
Right.
city.
Absolutely.
Bring it back, then
Absolutely.
we're gonna sit down and go over it.
Nobody said anything about spending any money.
that's where we are.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. Left hand, left hand. Okay, all opposed? Courtney is opposed. Okay, let's move along. The motion carries. We look forward to some progress in that area. I've worked on it pretty hard. I hope he's more successful than I've been. Okay, Tommy, you want to go over our ditch cleaning enterprise again?
Jeff, you weren't here Monday night, but I just wanted to tell you that I got a visit from one of my neighbors over there in the Omak subdivision. And he's concerned that now on my street and the next street, there's no problem with drainage. We don't have any problem. But Hillcrest a little bit and Charlton in particular, I think those ditches could well be cleaned out if you've got, can arrange that. And the mayor went through the trouble to, when he first got in office, to put that drainage ditch there. But there's some of them that they can't quite reach it because, and if you just take a look at it, that's all I ask. They asked me and I told them I've asked. That's all. I don't think it needs a motion. You can just deal with it.
And I think the main thing that'll help us there, of course, it may take, we don't want to do a lot of disruption to the yards, mess up their mowing ability. But I think we can do what we need to do to get the elevation right, to start up there on Old Graham Road and head down where I've got that pipe going down the Hall Road. I think if we'll take our machine and blow out the culverts and do a little work, I think we can get that water flowing out of there for them. Okay, were we through with item 8? Say it, Tommy?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to 9, Ms. Lopez.
September the 10th through the 12th, there will be clerks training in Athens, Georgia. I need the council to vote and possibly approve the attending of me going there so I can finish up my certification, please.
I make a motion we approve Ms. Lopez to go to training in Athens September 10th through the 12th.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ms. Lopez get her training in Athens to continue with her certification. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried, Ms. Lopez. You can continue in your training process. All right, also at our wastewater treatment plant, Ms. Crystal G. Hughes is a new employee, hadn't been out there too long, and she's beginning her training relative to getting her license for wastewater treatment plant. And Bland Williams, the superintendent over all the waterworks, has made the recommendation that this happen. Is that correct, Bland?
Yeah, she is very capable. She needs training.
And, he's made this recommendation, and it's before you entertain a motion to approve this training.
I'll motion.
Second.
Mr. Johnson's made the motion, it's seconded by Mr. Purser. Any further discussion relative to the training for Ms. Hughes? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's carried. All right, these other reports you've got in hand. Eric, would you make a motion that we approve 11, 12, and 13?
I make a motion, we approve 11, 12, and 13 for water, garbage, and trash, water and sewer adjustments, and check register.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purser. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. All right, we have before us every year, we join with 17 counties down here around Wake Cross and Okefenokee Swamp, Baxley, well, a whole bunch of them, 17 counties. And we jointly sponsored a big blowout at the old depot right across from the state capitol in Atlanta. And it gives us an opportunity to be a part, and for Hazelhurst and Jeff Davis County, some of the commissioners go in, and we talked about this week in a meeting that we were in, I was in with them. And I told them that we had already briefly discussed it at the work session, but for those of you that may not know, we go to Atlanta and entertain our legislators, senators and state representatives, and executives in state government. And it sort of puts a good foot forward that we couldn't do by ourselves. But together, all of us together are there, we can meet, shake hands, and greet those people. I think, I entertain a motion that we continue to participate.
Motion.
Motion made by Mr. Johnson that we continue to participate in the Okefenokee occasion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Purser. Any further discussion?
As I understand it now, the county is gonna share the cost also, right?
They're gonna pay for theirs. It's $150 per person that goes. And listen, about some, while we're in the discussion, but I'm glad you asked that, Tommy. Used to, we were only allowed 10 people to go, and they finally allowed us maybe at 12. You know, now that they say carry as many as you want to, just $150 a piece. So we can carry up to, they
So,
said,
and we still have time to take and make, because it's between now and then to take and say, hey, yeah, well, I want to
so many.
whatever.
No, well, yes and no.
I mean, I understand they have to have by a certain date, but I just
Yeah, well, that's what I
want
wanted to tell you now.
Find out.
Ms. Bonnie has told me over there, and I was in a meeting this week, so I've got some fresh news for us. They've got to send, we've got to know the number and remit our check first week in September.
It said, I would appreciate your discussing this matter and advising me prior to September the 18th,
Second
2017,
week in September. We
and
got-
make preparations to pay $150 per house.
That's right. So we have September the 18th, and that's before we meet again, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we do have a little urgency in our decision making. So, what if you'll tell Ms. Lopez, we can carry more if we got more city people. I know that the JDA, Joint Development Authority, is going to have at least 2 people that's going this time, and maybe more. I think they got a new member, Ms.
Cecilia.
What is her name?
Cecilia McClone.
Yeah,
Cecilia McClone.
Yeah, Ms. McClune, a retired school principal over there. She's a new member on that board, and I think she said she would go, so that may make 3 from JDA. And so to iterate, we've got more if we like it, but we do need to get our numbers together and get our check delivered before September 18th. Okay, anything else on that? Citizens' comments.
I have a couple of things.
All right.
First thing, I think you see at the bottom of the page there that I'm requesting for approval for me to go to the conference next week. Since I serve on the executive board of the Georgia Association of Fire Chiefs, the tuition fee of the motel is paid for by the association. So all of the board, the cities and counties have to pay is just basically the cost of eating. So our meals, we have to take care of our own meals, but everything else is taken care of by the association. So I was just requesting the approval to end that training next week.
Entertain a motion that fire chief be allowed to end his training coming up next week.
I make a motion.
Mr. Griffin made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Chief, you on your way.
Yes, sir. Second thing, thank y'all, appreciate that. The second thing, real briefly, I was talked to my commissioner. We wanted to make a few modifications at the fire station down there and move some things around. We're running out of some room in our training room. We're having some big classes. We have a small training room, always have had a small training room. And we actually are going to change things around. We're going to reduce the size of our gym and make a smaller gym and move it to the upstairs at the fire station. We're going to keep certain equipment, the actual piece of equipment you give us was perfect to go up there. So we're gonna keep that as well as some other things, the treadmill, a few things. The rest of the equipment, we're gonna offer it to departments. If they want it, they can get it, if not, we're gonna gov deal it. And then put that money back into what it's costing us. We had to put a few walls and move some things around. So we have, I asked my commissioner about if the city would pay for the material, we're gonna take care of all the labor. We had a local contractor that we had him to come in and actually put the walls up for us, move the walls around. So, but we're taking care of all the labor the fire department is, as well as all the painting. We're doing all the labor, that part of it as well too. But we want to make sure we have somebody that contracted to put the walls up for us. So that's all he does.
What are you asking us to do financially now? How much?
I think that we had one bill was like $2,200 worth of material. We're taking some things back we didn't need. And then we have a quote right now for about $1,700 for the carpet to go in that room.
So 22, 32, about $4,000.
And I had 82 is in my building maintenance. We had enough in there to put 2 doors at Station 2, but we had to cut my budget, so it's $7,000 to put 2 doors at Station 2, so there's not really enough money in there to do the doors and keep my maintenance up, because $2,500 to $3,500 a year to maintain these buildings, just to pay, replace toilets and do things when things tear up. So I need to keep that there, so I don't have enough money to change the doors out this year. So this can be used to do that, and we still have money left over in the account.
Okay, y'all heard the report of the fire chief relative to the changes. Do I entertain a motion to approve these expenditures?
I'll make a motion to approve the expenditures.
Mr. Griffin?
Laid out.
Thanks. Mr. Griffin has made a motion and seconded by who?
Me.
By Mr. Person. Any further discussion?
Yeah, are you gonna carry any free weights up there?
We're probably gonna have the free weights downstairs,
Oh, okay.
but we're upstairs, we're not gonna take free weights up there. No, sir.
Okay, good.
But we're just gonna put machines up there.
Okay.
But we're gonna offer it to, like I said, equipment. I also have the rec department has come to me and talked to me about the possibility of some of that equipment. If we would pass it on to them, I said, yeah, we're gonna offer the departments that, and then anything that we don't get rid of, even though the city didn't put any money in that, the city didn't pay for any of that equipment. We paid for the equipment, but we're gonna gov deal it so we can put that money back in to whatever we spend. So we'll get some of that money back.
Public Works, Water and Sewer, and Street Department, all you two supervisors are here. If there's an area down at your facility where at lunchtime or break, or early in the morning or afternoon, some of those walkers, something that you think your employees might like to work on with their fitness and whatnot.
Some of them might need you.
I agree. Let me tell you this. We had 7 employees.
Think we can use it at the treatment plant?
Last month, we had 7 employees, city and county, that utilized the gym, and they done it several times, but it was just 7 individuals. That was it. So we're not getting and 2, we can actually, when we're not using the training room, we can cut that air conditioning off, so we're gonna actually save some money on power bills and things like that once we do this. Because our power bill down there is pretty high.
Cody, if you think you need to stay in shape now, you might sort of work talking to Charles, and he might can help you.
Yeah, he's got to clean the room out there for me. One last thing, in my budget, both the city and county, we had talked about the hiring of
Wait a
administrative
minute, did we
assistant.
vote on this thing a while ago? I didn't think we did. We got a motion
Sorry about that.
yeah, let's get this handled before we move forward. The motion's made and seconded, and it's discussed enough. All in favor of approving the approximately $4,000 expenditures to rearrange what the fire chief has suggested. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, the vote's carried. Now go ahead.
Thank you. My last item is, in my budget, the city and county budget, we had put in there an administrative assistant that would be funded 50-50 with the city and county. I just need the authorization to go ahead in the next few weeks and start advertising for that position. Need to put it in the newspaper and start working on that. I just need y'all's approval to do that.
Make a motion, we authorize the chief to put it in the paper to run it.
Got a motion to run and advertise for the position that I think we previously approved.
Yes, sir. Yes, in the budget.
Is there a second to this motion? second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion?
I'm gonna abstain because of my newspaper,
What?
because the advertising is going in my newspaper.
Oh.
It's conflict of interest.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. All right. Okay, we got that taken care of.
While we're on citizens' comments, if you noticed also down at the bottom, 2017 GCIC training for Sandra Toller. She came to me today. This is so that she can continue to run the necessary reports in the department, police department over there, as well as for us. She will be going to training in Savannah, Georgia, August the 22nd through August the 24th. They are providing some meals, however, they're not providing all the meals, and she will be staying in a hotel down there, and I need the council to look at this and approve it if possible.
Okay, police department, one of the
Young lady.
secretaries over there is needing some training relative to enforcement, law enforcement, on August the 22nd and 24th. Entertain a motion that we approve this.
Make a motion to approve authorization for training for Sandra Toller from August 22nd, 24th in Savannah.
Mr. Griffin has made the motion that we approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, our training is approved. All right, what's your next item?
Also, if you'll notice to your right, I put a letter from the Jeff Davis Chamber of Commerce, and it's in regards to the showcase publication. This is actually the magazine, the Jeff Davis Living. Previously, as mayor and council, you all had placed an ad in there. And of course, there's a photograph and so on and so forth. But if you will see attached to this, there's the advertising rates, so on and so forth. I don't know that if you all know, but this magazine, when newcomers come to Hazelhurst, Jeff Davis County, this is given to them. Also, we keep this issue in our front office. And I don't know how many times when we've had people come in the front door up there, they pick up this thing and they look through it, and then they'll start asking questions. So I think it's very good for our county, for the city. The council needs to decide and what size they want to go with. It's not necessary tonight. Just look over this. We will need to get something back to them. There was not a date indicated in here, but by September 1st, thank you. So just, you'll have to look and tell me what you want to do.
And this is before even our next work session.
Yes, sir,
So
this was,
we're gonna have to get our heads together.
this actually just came to me Wednesday.
Okay, y'all are familiar with this? Can I hear from somebody?
Well, I think we've done the last two, we've done a full-page ad, haven't we, people?
Yes, if you look at the back, you actually see a copy of the advertisement. Even though it's not in color, you see what it looked like.
We've done a full-page ad, and I mean, I think we should go back to a full-page ad this year. That's entirely up to y'all.
What is the cost of a full page ad? I looked at it, but I forgot.
It's $1,000 if you pay it, if you commit to it by September 1st, you receive a 5% discount. So,
Is there any other cost that we need to approve if we're going to do that? Or is there any other cost or decision making to do?
well, I think I could actually talk to a photographer that, I don't know how much they would charge, but,
Well, they don't do their own photography?
No, you
no,
have
sir.
to get somebody to take
You
a
have to
picture.
get someone to do it.
I believe Tommy take a picture with you.
Tommy's got to be in it.
And take a picture.
No, hopefully, I mean, will it be done this year or next year?
This year.
This year.
It'll be up in Lake Palm, which I moved yesterday.
Anyway, we'll get involved in that. You want to make a motion then that we approve the full page?
I have a question.
Okay.
This Come Linger Longer, where did that come from? The reason I say that, it was an organization went bankrupt up at Lake Oconee called Linger Longer, we might want a different.
I have no clue.
I don't know where it
Attorney
come
Smith,
from,
I
but-
really don't know. I wasn't here, so I
I
can't
was here, but
answer.
I still don't know where it come
The
in.
Board of Tourism, Jim Sewell.
Huh?
Board of Tourism, Jim Sewell.
Linger Longer,
Okay.
got a bad connotation, so.
All right, we can work on that. We got a motion, and a second, that we participate with a full-page ad in the new Jeff Davis magazine. And our commitment will have to be, handled by September 1st. Any further discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're committed. You can notify them that we'll play ball with them.
Who seconded that motion, please?
Mr. Johnson?
Thank you.
Okay, what else you got?
The other items fall under the mayor and commissioner jurisdiction.
All right. Is it right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we knew there was a little problem, or we suspected there was a little problem, when we started dealing with the, convenience store out on Berkins Ferry Road that usually, just so that a lot of you will be familiar with, it used to be Hall's Food Store. It's on the left, just before you get to the apartments out there. Came up for change in ownership and management and whatnot. And then when they had to apply for their beer and wine license, they found a gentleman who signed the papers, and we've got them all here. He signed the papers and committed that he would be the holder of the beer and wine license. A few days ago, he wound up in my office, said, Mayor, I didn't know what all was involved. It wasn't thoroughly explained to me. And I want my name off of that beer and wine license out on Berkins Ferry Road out there. And so we got busy, Charles Harrell and I and Chief Williams, and checked it all out and notified the people that own the store. And they've been hand-delivered all the notification for this. So the beer and wine license out there has been
Suspended or revoked?
revoked. Thank you, sir.
He turned it in.
Yeah, it's been revoked. So they're without a beer and wine license. And Ms. Lopez, you've talked to them relative to the new application?
Yes, Miss Kim Carter has.
Okay, what's the deal?
They will be, from my understanding, they will be coming before the council in September to apply for a new license.
Okay, are they, is it revoked as of now? Are they selling beer and wine now?
They're not supposed to be, according
Is it
to,
revoked immediately?
Yeah, if the license is in the other man's name and he says, I no longer want this license, it's invalid.
Is invalid,
He
okay.
turned it in later.
All right, then we'll make sure that Chief Williams notify, of course, Charles Harold has already taken care of all the details. You've got that in front of you. So we'll make sure that it's properly enforced. They're not in the beer and wine license.
And once they take and want to revoke the license and everything, any alcohol in the store has to be picked up, is that
I
correct?
think so.
I think it
And if
does.
we're not a question revoking, he's holding the license, he's voluntarily giving us the license.
Right, I understand, I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, all right, good. All right, everybody knows about that? I don't think we need to take any action. I think the action's already been done.
Just need to follow through and make sure he's not selling beer and wine.
Okay, what's the next item?
application for the rental of Twisted Pines Civic Center. We brought this up in work session. You have that actual application again in front of you. Attorney Smith, would you please? I actually talked to Miss Brenda Reynolds, our insurance agent also, and I talked to Attorney Smith here also.
Well, essentially, this was discussed at a work session, and this thing has several problems, but one, of course, is our insurance doesn't cover, according to Ms. Reynolds, this type of activity out there, so that in itself is sufficient. Of course, you got the other thing is a discriminatory type of facility according to the type of the event. That's something certainly the city shouldn't get involved in. And I think, again, the fact that we can't be insured is grounds enough alone. I don't think we have to go any further than that.
Okay, do I entertain a motion that we deny the request?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Chris made a motion that we deny the request for reasons stated. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion?
Just for the benefit of Mary Ann, this is described as an all-white park. And we feel like we got problems with that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. Mayor and Commissioners, any further comments?
I would like to say that, the 26th, church that I attend, Bannock Methodist, is asking for the council and the city and whoever else will come up. We are dedicating, new addition and be with us on that day. We would like to have at 2 o'clock,
That's the 26th.
the 26th, Saturday. Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be a Saturday.
Anybody else got anything they need to bring before the council? All right, I've got 3 items that'll take us about 5 minutes, personnel items that need to be handled in the executive session. If you'll give me about, I'll make a motion to go into executive session, and if you'll give us about 5 minutes back there, I think that's all it'll take to entertain a second to my motion.
I think we need to have a reason.
This is
Personnel.
personnel,
real estate.
personnel, yeah, I've already said that. Three items, and it all deals with personnel. Okay, got a motion to say we go into executive session. All in favor say aye. We'll return. I don't think it'll take just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It should be very brief. It's 2 o'clock. May entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we come back to regular session from executive session.
Got a motion to come back in regular session. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in regular session. In executive session, there was no action taken. Entertain a motion, Mr.
So
Johnson.
move.
Mr. Johnson moved that we adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Griffin. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
For the record, your 5 minutes was 30 minutes.